Hey yo, what's poppin'? It's your girl Melissa, and you're watching Monae Media on YouTube. I am live today at Nomad Boxing Gym.
Nomad.
That's how you do it?
Yeah, Nomad. I'll show you the Nomad chant afterwards.
Ooh, there's a chant.
Yeah, oh yeah. The whole team chant.
You are?
Yeah, my name is Manny, the AK-47 Dunham. So I've been boxing over 23 years now. I was a three-time Pacific Northwest champion. I was a Golden Glove champion, three-time McCracken Fight Night champion. That's Battle of the Borders. I'm an Oregon State Golden Glove champion. And I got ranked number 6 in the whole nation right before I left the amateurs. And so now I'm the head coach of the Bumblebee, that's my old gym, but I'm the head coach of the Nomad Boxing Club.
All right, my name is Demetrius Morgan, and I'm the team manager for the Nomad Boxing Club. So it's basically it's a team of young men that we're going to take to amateurs. Some of them will go here shortly, and my job is to kind of facilitate, bring all the pieces together, connect the dots, media, contracts, and stuff like that, sponsorship.
And you reached out to me.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. That's what I do. This is my job.
That's what I'm talking about.
You stay on top of it too, man. He a great asset to that team. So.
That's what's up. And thank you for calling me. This is Monae Media's first sport interview.
Oh snap, we're gonna hit it with a bang. Watch out.
First sport interview. We got a lot of great things to do and to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all ready for this? Because I'm super pumped and excited.
We ready.
Yes. Okay, so where'd you grow up?
Yeah.
Kind of start from the beginning.
Okay, dig it. Yeah, so I was born and raised the first part of my life in Stockton, California. The 209, obviously different than the 206, just for those out there. Yeah, so the home of Nate Diaz, the MMA.
That's a boxer?
Oh yeah, MMA fighter. Yeah,
MMA.
Mixed martial arts. Yeah, so and everybody in Stockton just as crazy as he is. I was like, you think about it, that's another reason why I had to learn how to box. But that's aside from the point. So I started off the first quarter of my life there, and then my pops moved us up to Alaska. I know we went from extreme hot to extreme cold.
Oh wow!
And then so after a while, so when my pops moved back up here to California, I had to keep going back and forth. So I went to like 7th grade inside of Ryan Middle School, and then in the 8th grade I got moved back to California. So then they moved me straight up to high school. So I went to Bear Creek High School, and that's in the Lodi district inside Stockton, California. And then so either which way, after that I moved back up to Alaska, and I finished my high school up there. Yeah, and so pretty much when it came to getting in boxing and stuff like that, my whole family started off boxing at the same time. It was kind of cool, even my mom.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, I think she wanted to beat us up, make it legal. I don't know, but I'm just saying, man. Look,
so y'all have family, every Sunday y'all was getting together.
Yeah, just about. I remember this one time, like the coach had her sparring my brother, my older brother, and he hard-headed, man. And he's like, now the rules is you can't hit her, she can only hit you. And then he's moving around, he's clowning around, doing whatever. She can't touch him. And then all of a sudden, like the bell rung, and he starts talking to his friend Ryan in the corner, and the bell rung to start again. He wasn't paying attention. She was like, wow, clocked him. And then he got mad and tried to go off on her, and then she kicked him right in the ball. I said, oh, he was on the ground. But the coach was like, I told you, don't you touch your mama. Yeah, so the whole family pretty much started boxing together. And then when it came down to it, only 2 of us stuck with it. The brother that got kicked in his family jewels, and me. And then so we're the ones that held it down from there. It started off in Fairbanks, Alaska, at the Fairbanks Boxing Club.
Okay.
And that's right inside the Boys and Girls Club. So I started off doing that when I was 12 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I started off, and then I used to be a little chubby boy too back in the day too. Yeah,
you was chubby?
My mom's a professional baker. I had no choice.
Food.
She had the
Especially
good
when you
stuff.
were a kid and it's your mama.
Man, and then my uncle back in the day, he used to come to church and just bring me a box of donuts. I wouldn't have to share with none of my brothers and sisters.
Really?
Yeah,
No
I loved
wonder
it.
you was
Uncle Kenny, man, I loved it,
No
man.
wonder.
So I was a little chubby boy and stuff like that, man. Then
a whole box of donuts to yourself.
yeah, I was
know
tearing
that's
it
right.
up. And then I remember after I got into boxing, it took me about a year and a half, and I saw the first pack. I was like, oh, it's game over. And I was like, try to get as much of a 6-pack as I could and everything. So so I started out boxing there, and then
And
after
this was 12.
Yeah, this is 12 years old. And then I didn't get too many fights when I first started because like a lot of kids in our weight class, they were older than me. Like even just 1 year older than me, they had like pretty much first dibs on whatever fights. But getting Alaska, you didn't get that much fights. So for the first 3 or 4 years, I didn't get a dog on thing.
Wow.
And then so it was more on and off and everything. I would play basketball, play football, do whatever.
But you stuck to it. You didn't just give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of my big things that I have, and I'm glad it got set in me in an early age. But I never wanted to have any what ifs in my life whatsoever. And then so I like, look, I'd rather have something and fail at it and know that it ain't my thing, and then to actually just like
not do it. You know what I mean? Because you're afraid to fail.
Yeah, because if you don't do it, you fail already. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so that you're already solidifying your own fears. And then so that's what happened to me. It was hilarious when I came down here. Now I'll get to the story. Remind me to tell you the story of Big Old Tires.
Oh, big old tires.
Big Old Tires. Remind me to tell you that story. But so I came down here probably when I was my first fight was for Coach Bumblebee. And then because I heard about Coach Bumblebee from Alaska. I was in Alaska, and then there's this one boxer, Eddie Johnson. This guy right here, you could see his shoulder shrug and the guy's head, pop, 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 it just gets snapped. He was filthy. And then I remember, I said, man, I was like, that was my role model right there. I was like, man, Eddie, who taught you how to box? And he said, my Coach Bumblebee down in Seattle, Washington. I said, man, I was
and he was in Alaska.
Yeah, I was like, man, that sucked because he went down there for something. Here for some reason, it was what it was. And then so I heard about Coach Bumblebee, and I inspired to come down and meet him one day, but it just was what it was. But I remember
you were in Alaska, and you were how old?
In Alaska, I was at the time I was probably 16 years old when I heard about Coach B.
Okay.
Yeah, when I really heard about Coach B, because I kept thinking, I was like, man, how did Eddie get so good? Because our coaches weren't all that good. I was like, I had a couple of good coaches in Alaska. Yeah, Kelly Lawson, he was good. Bill Fairbanks, he was good. And then I had one that had no idea what the hell he was doing. He even told us that we weren't allowed to throw uppercuts. He said it was illegal. I said, where? I said, oh, okay, that was different.
Is it?
No, it's not illegal. And he's the reason I got my behind whooped when I first got down here. I was because when I came down here, because I've been living by myself since I was 17.
Okay.
And then so my mom, when she moved back to California, and then we took the rest of the kids. She couldn't afford to take everybody, and I had a full-time job, and I was going to high school at the time. But I told her, I was like,
you were okay.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I've been doing this pretty much anyway. I was helping pay the bills anyways, and then she had to borrow a lot of money to buy the other kids tickets because I got a big family. I got them. So technically, for my mom and my dad, 7 brothers and sisters, and then I got 1 half brother, and I got them. We had 6 stepbrothers at one time. So yeah, I was like, so it was a big old family. It was only one time when you had all of us together. It was beautiful chaos.
Y'all were raised, well.
Oh yeah, we definitely raised well. Mother and father and stuff like that. Even though they were separate, they both took good care of us.
That's what's up.
Yeah, they both took good care of us. Yeah, and so when I was 16 years old, it was when I was 17. Excuse me. I got an offer to go to Philly, and then so I went down and trained out in Philly with Roland Cooley. He's one of Joe Frazier's trainers, and then they even it was at Joe Hand's boxing gym in North Philly. So I went down there, man, that was amazing. My first professional I ever saw in person was Tim Witherspoon Jr. So he was in this sparring, and I remember to this day, I still do the same movement he did a little tap on top, bam, came with his mean uppercut. I mean, he was looking good. They had a couple of world champions there. It was a big culture shock. I said, man, I was like, this whole
it got
place.
You excited.
I loved it. I was so excited. I remember I was out there shadow boxing in Philly. I'm walking down the street shadow boxing, and the guy that was he's supposed to just watch me. My mentor / bodyguard, so to speak. The reason why I say that, he would warn me about different things. He's like, I need you to stay off this street at this time right here, do this. I was like, okay. He just knew the hood, you know what I mean?
That's what's up.
And then I remember I was shadow boxing. He's like, don't do that. I was like, what you mean? He said, everybody here knows how to box. He said because they go through a police, it's like program, police program.
Like the academy?
Yeah,
or like
there's
training?
Yeah, it's different in power, but it's a police program where they train all the kids that are youth to box, so they learn how to use their hands rather than to use the gun.
Wow.
And then so it was a trip, and then he's like, and everybody knows how to box. They see you doing that, they're gonna test you behind. I said, oh, good point. So I started, let me just walk break. I don't want to. I wasn't that good at boxing yet. So,
right.
Yeah, so I trained. I got a chance to go to Joe Frazier's boxing gym. Right, this is before he died too. I barely missed him. He had just left his office, and I loved his gym. It was just like, just everything you see off the movies. I mean, dark, gloomy. I mean, it had that smell inside there. You know, just they gritty, man, grimy. I said, I loved it, man. So I got a chance to. They wanted to test me out. I'm gonna see what it looked like on the bag, and they were impressed. They were like, oh man, this boy, okay. Well, we got something to work with here. I was like, cool. And that's actually where I got my first nickname from. So I've had 3 different nicknames. One that not too many people know about, and then that would be what Coach B used to call me, Coach Bumblebee. And we'll get into Coach Bumblebee in a second.
Okay.
But Coach Bumblebee, because I used to eat candy before I came to the gym all the time. Coach used to call. I had my little. It was like the sour strips.
Yeah.
I used to love them things. So I come to hey Coach, what's up? He said Candy Man. I'm like, that's what he used to call me, Candy Man, just joking around, right? And then when I went to Philly, they gave me a different name. And then so I was in Philly. Oh yeah, and then we got some extra waters for you too as well.
In the other bag, yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Make sure he gets that for you.
Getting excited, you know.
I know that's right.
Don't get dry.
It's hot, man. But yeah, so when I went to Philly, it was like they gave me that different nickname and stuff. They're like, man, I bet you training like 40 below weather, because I told them I was from Alaska. And they're like, matter of fact, that's what we're gonna call you, 40B, 40 below. I was like, all right, so that was my nickname in Philly, 40B. And then so that was pretty cool. I love that name. And then I went back up to Alaska. Started doing what I was doing. I was actually throwing parties back then. I mean, so I used to DJ back in the day, and I used to throw parties.
You did?
Oh yeah, I DJ'd my own prom. I kid you not.
Wow.
Big Daddy Production. My man Montes, Jose Rodriguez, and David Rodriguez. They were my partners right there. So when I told you I was living by myself when I was 17, I was renting out a room from them, and they pretty much took me in like family. I mean, so it's almost like I wasn't living by myself, but I was. Cause I still. And so either which way, I remember they just had the funniest times. I'm talking, you want to talk about have the direct Mexican accents, everything like that. I mean, straight to the T, just like off Movie Friday. Had me dying. Like the older brother was 35. That was Montes. And then the younger brother David, he was like 25 at the time. And then he was trying to sing to the older brother's daughter. He said, come here, Mia. He said, twinkle, twinkle, little star. And the older one got mad. He's like, what the hell are you going about, though? He's like, this bitchy spider, stupid. I was like, I would die, man. Even to this day, I'll never forget that. Every time I talk to them, I'm like, man, yo, remember this, man? They're like, yeah, we remember. And I was like, man, they used to have me cracking up. They're good peoples and everything, real good peoples. And yeah, he was like my Mexican pops on the side, you know what I mean? Yeah, so either which way, I'm a DJ my own prom. I used to have a blast, but then we started putting on our own parties. I mean, I had people coming to them from Anchorage, Alaska. I'm talking with, they were huge parties. They got up to like 1,300 people. I kid you not. First time it was like 200 people. We thought we had a lot. We used to put them on at the Eagles Lodge, and then we would charge $10 at the door. And then the thing about it, I wanted to have a bigger female to male ratio, right? I was because if the females come, the males are sure to follow. Right? Yeah. And then so we had, say females, if you came in groups of 3, you get them for $5. Or if you dressed apart, you get them $5. And then you understand.
There was a bin there.
There
was a bin there looking good too.
We had man. So all the guys came through. And then we hit an untapped market and stuff. Man, I mean, so we had it booming. I had even bars and clubs. Trying to find ways to shut us down. So I had a meeting with the police chief and everything like that.
And this was where?
This was in Fairbanks, Alaska.
Okay.
Fairbanks, Alaska.
I didn't know they do things like that in
Well,
Alaska.
they ain't got too much of nothing else to do. I was like,
ain't
man.
It dark
We had during the winter time, like especially December and
so
January.
How do you do that? What do you do?
Stay busy.
Just curious.
You gotta stay busy. I mean, cause I remember because they got one of the highest suicide rates inside of the world.
Really?
Well, the United States at least that I know about.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
wow.
Ratio-wise, right?
Right.
I mean, the thing is and stuff like that. Folks, they gotta find stuff to do and stuff. So so the ideal is this right here. It just wasn't. I mean, you play basketball. I'm saying we always play at the Boys and Girls Club, do whatever. Then, I mean, as far as that, the only other thing to do is either box or get in trouble. They go out and just
do they have
cause.
a lot of a lot of different things like Boys and Girls Club, like a lot of
They just had the Boys and
different-
Girls Club.
One.
Yeah, Fairbanks was small. It's a small. I mean, the biggest mall we have is the Bentley Mall. We call it the Bentley Hall. I mean, so as soon as you walk in, you walk out. It's like a walk-in closet. I was like, man. And then so you know, you get in trouble and stuff. And a lot of fights and everything. So I was able to build a name up there too, fighting too. Because like a lot of my homies and stuff like that, they love to fight. You know what I'm saying? They be in their gangs and do whatever and stuff. I never joined no gang. But I always fought alongside them. Like when the Crips were fighting them, this my native group. It was called TNT, True Native Thugs. I kid you not. And man, it was at the movie theaters. In Alaska. And man, it was at the movie theaters. I remember because I knew a couple of my friends that was in that gang and stuff like that. They know I don't affiliate with no gang stuff. Even back then and stuff like that. I was like, man, forget it. I'm cool, man. And then so I remember I seen them fighting. And I knew them. I didn't know the other guys. I was like, whoop. So I jumped in. And I started whooping up a couple of guys because it was about like 15 of those guys against about 10 of my friend and his people. So
have you actually ever been challenged to like on the street?
Yeah.
I want to fight you right now.
Yep. I've been challenged like that. Not very often, especially not during boxing. Now that I've had my boxing career like this, never been challenged and everything. Okay. And the good thing is I don't go around starting fights. I try to be as nice to folks, and then I know what I can do. And then since I got that confidence, and that's the one thing about boxing, it builds that confidence inside of you because a lot of times people fight because they got something to prove. And they want to prove something. Oh, what's up? Yo, get the camera, world star. Oh yeah, they gotta do all that stuff and everything. Me, I avoid it as much as I used to work security. I avoid it as much as possible.
I can kill you.
I can hurt you pretty
so
bad.
Let me.
Yeah, I mean, I got my reasons just like that. Like 3 reasons. One, I know what I can do and everything. 2, I don't know what they can do. Because I might end up looking like Chris Tucker. I mean, I might try to fight somebody and all of a sudden. Dude kick me. I'm like, which one of y'all kicked me? Is it about 5 years? No, it's only one. Oh man. I don't want to end up like that. You know what I mean? Because you don't know, some dude might be a 10th-degree black belt and stuff like that. You ready for a boxing match? I wasn't ready for that. Hold on 1 second. And it's the shot you don't see is the one that would knock you out. I'm very weary. Look, I won't start no fight, but I'll sure finish it. I'm not the punk to not finish it. But the last fight I was in was actually in Stockton, California. Stockton, California. You want to talk about crazy cats? These big old white dudes. It was like they looked like they just got out of prison. They had the tats. The heads were shaved. They looked the part, right? Yeah. And I was there for my older brother's wedding, the one that boxes. And this is a funny story, probably the funniest fight I've ever been in my life. And then so I hadn't been in Cali for probably like 3 or 4 years at the time. And I go there, and then all of a sudden, we're driving my mother's car to kind of pick up things. She's doing the catering for the wedding. We're pretty close to the church. And then these big dudes, they walk in front of the car. I had the green light, and I was honking the horn. Then they start cussing me out, F you, blah, 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 blah. I was like, whatever. I wasn't going to pay attention to it. And then out of nowhere, they hit my mama's car with a golf club. I don't know where they even got the golf club from. Well, it turns out we were right in front of the house. I pulled over the car. I was like, oh, no. So it was me, my older brother who boxes, John, and then my younger brother, Ben, and then my cousin, Theo, who swore he was a gangster. Mind that part. He swore he was a gangster. And then so either which way me and John, we hop out of the car, and then the guy got the golf club, and I'm trying to get him to swing at it, but I was like, shoot, finally flinched at him. I fainted him. He swung. I was like, slip, bow, dropped him. And then my brother grabbed the golf club, and then they started running in it. So it turns out we're right in front of the house. There's 2 more dudes up in there. So now there's 4. Yeah, and so anytime they came, we're gonna get to that part. Oh yeah. The technical was 4 of us. All right, so you notice that technical part. Yeah. I was like, man, because every time they come downstairs, they had a staircase going up, probably about like 10 steps going up to the apartment. And then every time they come down, me and my brother put it on them. And then one time my brother took the golf club, hit one guy in the leg. That's where everything gets funny. He said, "Bow." He said, "Oh, dude, my leg." I was like. And then they still going in it. I was like, that's all right. And then all of a sudden they going in and out of their house, bringing more stuff. We stay downstairs just in case they have a gun. We don't want to be stupid and get too close, have no place to run. And then I remember they sicked the dog on us, a pit bull. They said, kill him. And I was like, oh man, I'm at the boxing dog. That dog started coming downstairs. My brother had the golf club. He said, start petting the dog and stuff like that. Then the dog started walking up down the street. They said, come back, killer, come back. I said, what in the world?
The dog's name was Killer.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, look.
Yeah,
I said, man, this like something out of a movie.
That's like
man.
in a movie.
Yeah, man. So they're probably like, just go, man. We're like, we trying to go. Every time we try to leave, y'all come downstairs, and every time you come downstairs, we're gonna light you up. And then finally, so they're like, fine, we'll stay right here. We're like, all right. So we start walking back. Yeah, they call the truth. They wanted to go. We were whooping them up, but they had they had all the muscle. But me and my brother, we know how to box. You know what I mean? But we were throwing them things. And then so either which way, my brother John, he could box. If he would have trained properly, he would have been good. He didn't train. You didn't train, John. You watch, you little punk. All right, the boy eat Doritos before a fight and stuff. I'll leave that alone. But either which way and everything, if John would have trained, he would have been a really good fighter, a good talented person. So either which way, we start heading back. And then all of a sudden, one of the guys was like, hey, can I at least have my golf club back? And my brother's like, yeah, here you go. He tossed to him, was like, what the hell, bro? I was like, what's wrong with you? Don't give nobody no weapon back. And then so we get inside the car, and I'm mad, man. And then so we head back, and then we just passed, the cops just started coming that way. We barely missed them. We left perfect timing. Yeah. We go around the corners of the church, and then so now, 2 hours before my brother's about to get married, the one that's fighting with me, he's about to get married.
Lord have mercy.
I kid you not, man. So it was like 2 hours before the wedding, and we're
telling you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You know?
And we're telling everybody and telling all the cousins about it. I was like, yeah, man, me and John, we're the only ones fighting.
Y'all go
like,
back?
Oh man, we were. Well, I told him no, we were at the church. I was like, yeah, me and John was the only ones fighting and stuff like that. I was like, Theo and Ben, they sat behind the car screaming South Side, South Side. I was like, you must have been on the South Side. You wasn't helping us. I was like, man. And then Ben, my brother Ben, he said, oh no, I didn't even get out of the car. I was like, you know something? That's not something I would have admitted, bro. I was like, you do it again, we're going to jump you next. That's something we didn't play. I was like, you didn't help out or something? Yeah, you next. My dad, he raised us up tough. Like, if we got caught fighting in the house, like, he would make us play chest. Not chess, chest. So, yeah, there ain't no board game and stuff like that. You had to stand right in front of each other and then, bam, hit each other in the chest. Whoever gave out first was the loser. And they're the one that got in trouble. So, it was a trip and everything. I won one time. I admit it, one time. Not the rest of them.
So you are watching Monae Media on YouTube, and I am at Nomad Boxing Gym with Manny and Demetrius. You got some stories.
Oh, I got tons.
You got stories. So what I want to do now, real quick, tell us how you met Demetrius and how you guys started working together.
Right on. So just the base of the story. When I came back from Alaska after the parties, I came down to the Bumblebee Boxing Club, the guy that I heard of.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back to him. It would lead to him, right?
Yeah, I'm with it.
Because I saw Coach B inside of the World Championship. It was my second fight. I had only we're fighting in novice division, 10 fights and under, ringside World Championships, Kansas City, Missouri, and I finally see Coach B. And I said,
in Missouri.
In Missouri, he's with his fighter Jamani, his grandson.
Oh.
And then I was like, that's Coach B. Okay, then I got all starstruck. This is back when we had the like little cameras, the disposable ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to get a picture with him. So I was ready, man.
You had a camera?
Yeah, man, I had my camera. I was like, man, I got all nervous. I was like, I finally got the courage. I was like, excuse me, sir, Coach Bumblebee, can I get a picture with you? He said, yeah, champ, you're the nicest dude in the way. He said, come on, champ. I was like, yeah, all right, cool. And I had somebody go take the picture. Turned out I ran out of film. I was like, man. I was like, you know, this ain't nowadays. Yeah, ain't no phones. I was like, man, right? I was like, that sucked. But he gave me his information and stuff. And then it turned out he trained my other partner, Vinny Zamora, heavyweight fighter, real good fighter. And so pretty much, me and Vinny, we wanted to go down we wanted to fight Golden Gloves down here in Seattle. We were still in Alaska. So after that, I was like, man, I met Coach Bone. He's like, yeah, he cornered me inside of my Junior Olympics. I was like, really? And then so because he got third in the Junior Olympics, and the guy that got first came up to Alaska and he beat the brakes on me. He was a good fighter. And then so Coach B invited us to come down and fight for him. That was the first time I fought for McCracken Fight Night. And then that was the first Golden Gloves I ever fought. It was my fifth fight. I turned open after the fifth fight, and then literally I was fighting cats. 30 fights, 100 fights didn't matter. Didn't matter. I did not care the experience. I was like, look, you got gloves, I got gloves. You got blood, I got blood. See who bleed first. That's all it was and everything. I did not care about your experience. Plus, I had the equalizer too. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how much more experience the other guys had, I had that power in my punch. That's the equalizer. I was like, so that's one thing I had going for that and my speed and stuff, which came to my second name that Coach B gave me, the AK-47. Because they had fast hands and because I lived in Alaska, the initials are AK. So it's a perfect transition.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. Okay.
So we did all that, and then I'm boxing with Coach Bumblebee. I had a retreat
Here.
Yeah, now
Okay.
now
You
I'm
didn't
living
tell
in
us how you
Seattle.
got here.
Oh
You
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
tell us how you got
So
here.
you're gonna have to know that story.
Yes, because we are in Seattle. We are
Yeah.
in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me tell you how I
All
get here.
right.
Thank
I
you
need to
for
know how
reminding
you
me.
got to my city.
I know that's right. She said, get him. And so I had him fight for Coach Bumblebee. During that tournament, then I flew back up to Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is probably when I was 18, if I was correct. And then pretty much I was going to become homeless up in Alaska. I was renting out from these cats, some of that were in the military. And then their daughter liked to fight a lot of folks on the street. And then so she got them kicked out of their spot. And then they called, and then I came home and stuff like that. And then this is when I was still throwing those parties too. I was making money back then.
Yeah.
And then so I could fly down, fly back. I was
Yeah,
good.
you was doing your thing.
And then it came down to it and stuff. And I kid you not, this is where God come into play, because I mean he's always been a part of it, but at the same time, I literally I was still. It's like I had a relationship with God, but I was not living the lifestyle, right? Remember, I was putting on the parties. So I had people wanting me to open clubs. And then I prayed right before, because I was about to try to find a building. Somebody was going to fund me to get a building to literally put on the club, right? And then I prayed. I was like, this is literally my prayer too. I said, well, Lord, I'm gonna put on this. I'm gonna open this club. You don't want me to do it? Better stop me now. That was my prayer. There wasn't even no amen after nothing. That was it. That was it. And then I get back on base. And then my truck had just got looked at the day before. I passed them, all the, the tests they had to do and everything. I was getting checked out. Everything was perfect on it. And then all of a sudden I get on base. As soon as I pass the gate, the truck shuts down on me. I said, what the world's going on here? And they tried to test the battery. The battery was good. The truck just wouldn't start. I was like, oh, okay, this is weird. And also as soon as I get home, then I find out the news that I'm gonna be losing my spot. I'm about to get
God
homeless.
don't play with God.
Yeah, that's what
don't
I said.
play with him.
Yeah, I do
not
not play with him.
him.
Really. He's like, oh, I'll let you know. And then so it came down to it. They're like, we're gonna have to move over to this spot. I was like, okay, when we move, they're like, well, that's the thing. It's too small of a place. I'm like, you have to find your own spot. I was like, oh man, I didn't have a spot. And then Coach Bumblebee calls out of nowhere. He said, hey, Manny D. He's up in California. And then he was like, Manny D, he said, my car broke down. His car broke down in California. He said, I'm like, your dad live around here. I was like, yeah. He said, let me get his number so I can, so I get a mechanic. I was like, okay, cool. So I got them in touch, and I just got done. Then all of a sudden I called my dad, told him about that. Then I was like, hey, Pops, I'm about to be homeless. He's like, come stay with me. And my Pops, he always wants us to come with him and stuff. And it's just all my hard-headedness.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Yeah, it was just my hard-headedness. Yeah, I understand. But me too. And then I was like, no, man, I got this. I was like, I've been homeless before, because I was homeless before in Alaska. Like when I was in high school, I was living, this is in 40 below weather, living in my van. When I was still going to high school, and I was sleeping underneath my clothes, and then inside my van. And then I remember there's a place that was called Alaska Land. Now it's called Pioneer Land. But either which way, you have to plug in your car in Alaska, otherwise your engine freezes. So you got to plug in your car. And then I saw Alaska Land, they had the ports there where you could just plug in your car. So I would have to wake up every 2 hours to turn my car on to get the heat going again. Then I go back to sleep.
Ooh, God is
then
good.
I finish high school.
God is good.
Yeah, then I told Pops, I was like, look, I've been homeless before, so I could do it again. It is what it is. He's like, boy, don't be hard headed. I was like, I'm good, man. So I was being hard headed, and all of a sudden I hung up and I gave him Coach B's number. Then all of a sudden they both called me back. He said, Coach B was like, I had to talk with your father, and he told me, my bad, I can't help but make his voice. I can't help it. I lived with him for so long, man. I can't help but make his voice. He said, Manny D, he said, I heard that you were becoming homeless and everything. I don't want that to happen. You're a pretty good boxer, and I want you to come back to me. I was like, okay, Coach. He said, you come down here, I'm gonna get your ticket, and your dad will get your ticket, and we'll get it set up from there. I'll get you a job and get you set up. I said, okay, cool. And then so within 1 day's notice, one bag, I flew out here, and then my first job was Big Old Tires. The coach got me set up. He had a hookup up there. I was like, they're like, you know how to change oil? I said, yeah, I know how to change oil. Yeah, no problem. I didn't know how to change oil. I figured I could learn on the spot. No problem. It got to be simple. Man, they raised the car up, and then I turned the thing up, and they didn't tell me that I had to let it drip. And then I pulled up. it's flying all
Thought
over
you
me.
knew how to change the oil.
Yeah, oh, it sure the hell look. I was like, man, I'm soaked in the oil.
Telling stories
in the
that ain't
whole
true.
suit. Yeah, that's what I get,
Okay.
right? That's what I get. So I'm there like, well, go clean up and just take an early lunch break. I was like, okay. So as soon as I cleaned up, I went straight to Sears Roebuck. This is on 4th and Landing.
Okay.
Yeah, I went straight to Sears Roebuck, and I did a 2-hour interview. It took them 2 hours. I mean, take it too long. I'm still on lunch break. And then, so I got hired in the shoe department. So my first legit job was in the shoe department.
Interesting.
'Cause
How
I got-
that happened.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, because I went back and like, that was a long lunch break, don't you think? I was like, I'll be real with you, this ain't my thing. I tried, I failed. I told you, I was like, I tried it, I failed. I'm gonna get another job. I got another job in the shoe department.
The cool thing is that you learned these experiences of life.
Yeah.
And about God and how great
Yeah,
He is. And He showed you at an early age. Everybody doesn't get that.
They don't.
You're very blessed and highly favored.
Come on now, come on.
And you have this boxing gym. Tell it. Okay, you like to talk. You got stories.
I know, my
I just don't want to miss nothing. Okay,
No,
I just
hit
don't
me.
want to run out of time.
Hit me.
So tell me how you two met.
So we were working at Title Boxing Club over here.
Greenwood.
At Greenwood.
Okay.
And then so we were both trainers there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was training there, he was training there. Then I remember there was a certain point where
How old
he
were
was
you at this
boxing.
point?
How old? What?
I was in my mid-30s. I started boxing at like 34, 35.
Oh, so you had been here for a while by then.
Yeah, I've been up here for a while because
You're from here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is towards the end of my amateur career and everything like that. He actually came down to the gym and stuff like that. He wanted to do some more boxing. You want to talk more on that?
Yeah, so I started boxing when I was about 35. I was a late bloomer. One of those things where I did like a lot of lifting weights and all that, and I was like, man, I'm just in the gym for nothing. I want to really challenge myself. And I grew up watching boxing, loved it, huge fan. And so I got into it, and I went to this gym up north that was more like an MMA, kind of kickboxing, mixed it up. Wasn't really a good gym. Didn't have good coaching. So one day I just like, you know what, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna go pro. I was thinking about it, and I was talking with somebody at Title, and they said you should call Manny and talk to him. I knew Manny, like I'd seen him in between classes. We were friendly and all that, but I wasn't really good friends with him back then.
Right.
So I just reached out to him. I just explained it. I said, hey man, I'm kind of getting up in age. Like if I'm gonna do something, now's the time. What's your thoughts? I just want to get some insight, see if you guys can help me. So Manny and I met at the gym. We just kind of worked on some drills to see where I was. I went over to Bumblebee and boxed for a couple months, spar with some of the youngsters. And at that point I was so I used to work with at-risk youth. I worked with at-risk youth for about 12, 13 years. I was studying for my real estate license. And so I just got into this relationship and now I have a family and all that. So my whole life was starting to change.
Yes.
And I just had to think about it. I was like, man, being a pro boxer is just not possible for me. Like you just gotta, because these kids, because at Bumblebee, those boys are trained every day, right?
Yeah.
So the sparring that I would do with them one day, I'm like, oh man, I feel like the next day I'm waking up and I got bones I can't even pronounce, hurting and stuff like that. I'm like 38, 39 years old, and they're at it the next day like it's nothing. And so I think you just gotta kind of know when to cut your losses and say, you know what, man, I had a good run. I got a chance to spar with some local pros and friends with a lot of local fighters and know a lot of coaches and got some good memories, went to some fights. And so, yeah, to kind of back off, focus on getting into real estate, starting a real estate business. And then probably 2 years ago, there's this young heavyweight that's kind of all over social media. He trained at the gym that I trained at originally. We didn't know each other personally, but we were at the same gym. We know some of the same guys, some of the same friends. And I noticed he would kind of be at different gyms, and you kind of follow somebody on social media, and you're like, this guy's kind of all over the place, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I knew he was talking about, I'm gonna go pro and this and that. So I reached out to him. We were actually reached out to him because we wanted him to do a smoker for us. We were gonna do a fundraiser.
Okay.
And Manny and I were starting to already kind of plan something before the shutdown. And then, so I asked him, I just said, well, are you trying to go pro? What's going on, man? He goes, yeah. And I was like, how old are you? At the time, he was 28. And I was like, what are we going to do, man? You need to do it right now. What's your plan?
Right,
I was like, do you have a coach? Do you have a manager? He goes, I got none of that. I said, well, how are you training? He goes, I just go to the gym and hit the bag and spar with people. And I was like, oh, man. So I said, well, do you want a coach? Do you want to be manager? Do you need some help? And he was like, yeah. So I said, well, I'm going to reach out to my guy, Manny. I was like, he's probably one of the most respected coaches in the Northwest. He knows what he's doing. I was like, this is what I need to do is follow up, go to the gym and do exactly what he tells you to do, and you'll do something, trust me. So I started kind of coming around again because at that point I wasn't really boxing as much, you know, and I was focusing on family and my business. But I started managing him. I was going to get him ready to go pro. So I would go to the gym and I'd, you know, see Manny and catching up with Manny and all that. And like I said, I always wanted to kind of keep one foot in boxing.
Yeah.
But I was getting older, so I couldn't really actually compete.
Right.
So I thought, well, maybe start managing, right? So just started getting more behind the scenes, more of the business part of it. Like I said, I worked with youngsters for years, so part of managing a boxing team is working with young people,
Yes.
motivating them, and you know, keeping them on track and making sure they're making the right choices. So I just approached Manny one day and say, hey man, you know, maybe you need some help with the team. I can manage it, work behind the scenes, whatnot, and do the coaching. And that was probably like a year or so ago, like during the pandemic, like at the height of the pandemic. And then I was like, yeah. So we just had a series of conversations on what I would need to do and whatnot, and just started doing it. So I just started reaching out to local media. Started, you know, we did the gym wars. I'm sure Coach is going to talk about that. So I started helping him, you know, put on the gym wars and getting marketing out there. We have a number of projects that we're just kind of still not really like going out there about, you know, we're working on behind the scenes. So just working on stuff like that, and you know, Manny I consider a good friend. And you know, I got almost 10 years on him. He's somebody I look up to. He's consistent. He shows up. He does what he says he's going to do. And in this day and age, you don't really see that a lot. You see a lot of people kind of out there with the bullhorn and running their mouth and on social media.
Yeah.
And Manny will tell you more about this, but I got a chance to see him in action when everything shut down, while everybody was making a name for themselves. He was behind the scenes making sure these boys had somewhere to go and somewhere to train consistently.
And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what you guys did, you know, in the beginning, like when you guys opened up, you know, with the youth and the kids
Yeah. Go ahead.
during, you know, the time.
During COVID.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the most important parts of the story.
Yes.
Because this gym was birthed out of that, you know. So
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah, with that and stuff, because like I said, I'm the last prodigy of the Bumblebee Boxing Club. I was there. I lived with Coach Bumblebee for about 7 or 8 years. So I pretty much became one of the head coaches after a while. And then after a while, I had to make a quick split. But me and Coach, we were like this. No, he's like me. We had a Mike Tyson custom model relationship. And then even till this day, we still do. And then the thing about it is, I started taking guys, and I was training them at Emerald City Boxing Club over in the UW area. And then my man Russell, very good dude and everything, he's a very awesome guy. Let us train the guys there. And then I was already doing personal training sessions at Gasworth Park. And then I remember I kept looking at the place. I was like, man, this make one hell of a gym. Because he was just like industrial. It just looked the part. I just loved it. And then
It was like a fight video game.
Yeah,
like a Def Jam fighting video game.
Right in the
It was just dope, man.
Yeah. It was one of the real cool places. I mean, as soon as the pandemic hit, I said, screw it. I said, you know something? I mean, that's when I actually bought that van. I never had that van before, but I kept searching for the big old, 15-seater van.
Yeah.
Because I was using my Subaru, because I was bringing like 3 or 4 bags to, I would hang up all the bags up at the Gasworth Park. And then the team started building up more, so I got the van. I was like, okay, I got to make the sacrifice and everything. Got to make the investment. So I got the van, and so I got about 6, maybe 8 bags. Most of the bags you see right here are the ones that I would carry in that van. Took the seats out. Every day.
Wow.
I would go up there. It would take me. I would get up there like 2:30. I would set up the gym and stuff like that. All the bags, heavy bags. My speed bag. I made my own bracket. I mean, I still got the little bracket right there in the corner. Still, it won't hang up here, but I'll definitely show you guys that later. But I mean, I kept them going even through the winter. As soon as the winter hit and stuff, like when the rain was coming real hard or something, I got industrial plastic. I mean, because we were inside the area that was covered, but at the same time, the rain could still blow through. And then so it was funny the first time I was putting that up, because I was like, just in case. And then I finally got it set. I cut out about 50 feet and we're going one direction. And then it was already 20 foot wide, right, for the height. And then all of a sudden, like I was trying to figure out how to put it on, and all of a sudden I hear this loud noise. It's like, I was like, what was this? And all of a sudden, bow! The rain just exploded. It was like some crazy just exploded inside the place. And then I'm trying to get this thing up, and then somebody random just came and helped me.
Around here.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Changes anytime.
It's so crazy, man. West Seattle, we got some crazy weather. And then so I was able to get the industrial plastic up, and I started working on getting them both sides so it could trap in the heat, because I got a generator, which I'll show you guys later, which I still have.
Too, right?
Yeah, the industrial heaters, yeah. And we had the industrial heaters. We connected them to the generators, and then so I kept the guys going throughout the whole winter.
Okay.
And then so they had no choice. I told them, I was like, look, we're gonna keep going and stuff like that.
Okay, and they did.
They
They stayed dedicated like you did.
They
And,
stayed working.
that pushed you, didn't it?
Sure
Pushed
did.
you to
And I
continue.
wanted to bring
Yeah.
something up. Like again, a part of being a leader, in my opinion, is making sacrifice. You know, Manny made some serious financial sacrifices with his personal training because the time that he was training the boys was his peak time for his personal training, right? Manny, this man's got a family and he's making a sacrifice. So I just want to throw that in because the last couple of years, there's a lot of talk about who's in the community, who's doing the work, who's doing this. A lot of people kind of pat themselves on the back. And I just want to make sure Manny is usually people that are doing the most work aren't patting themselves on the back because they're too busy doing the work, right? It's like Manny was saying about fighting. Those who really know how to do it don't talk about it, right? And that was, when it comes to getting out of the community, really making that sacrifice for these boys, when they could have been at home. Obviously, there's a lot going on last year and a half. People
That's
have reason
why
to
I'm
be
here.
angry,
You heard it first on Monae Media.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, so-
amazing, and this is what I do. Like I want to talk to you. You know,
Thank you so much for the
people
opportunity,
like you.
too. Yeah.
This is what I want.
Yeah, so the gym opened up. I mean, we had, known people go there and spar. Like it was a gym. They had, what was it, like the big truck straps or something like that?
Yeah. For the ring, I set the straps up, so
Wow.
I found a way to connect all the straps and everything to make it a
So
solid
you
ring.
had the boxing gym at
Gym.
Gasworks Park
Full box
outside.
every
full.
day.
Every
Five
day.
days a
Every
week.
day,
Monday through Friday.
Monday through
Monday
Friday.
yeah.
That's
And then there was even a time where I messed up my arm really bad, and my long bicep muscle was so messed up I couldn't even lift the bags. But I kept coming and trying. And then the homeless camp that was over there, real nice cats. They saw me. They're like, man, you need some help? I was like, no, I got it. And they're like, no, we'll take over. You tell us what to do. So as I told them what to do, I tried to give them money. They wouldn't even take the money. They said, no,
God is good.
Yeah, that's what I said. God is good. Cause they said, they said, we don't care. We don't need your money and stuff. We just love what you're doing with these kids and everything. I was like, man, I appreciate you, man. So they helped out for about a month and a half, and then after that, my arm got better, so I started doing it myself. But I always want to keep it, God, he blessed me with a whole lot of different things. I mean, think about the timing of us getting this building right here now.
Yeah.
Because when I went to Gasworks Park, I didn't ask nobody. I just started going. I said sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. Sometimes, you know what I mean? I said, then bump it. And then we actually started making ourselves relevant. You know what I mean? Because I remember one of the workers that was there. They had the community workers that would hand out hand sanitizer and masks and everything for people that needed it.
Yes.
And then so they were there, so I was like, okay. And I always would just come in like I belong there. I was like, hey, what's up? Hey, good to see you. Hey, Jake here? He's I don't know Jake. Oh, man, he probably from the other spot. All right. And then I keep on doing it. And I got to know the guys and everything.
Right,
and then one guy was like, hey, man, I told my supervisor about you. I was like, you did what?
Dang it.
Nah, man, he was like, yeah, he said he loves what you guys doing. Hey, brother. And he said he loves what you guys doing and everything like that. I'm like, keeps the riffraff out. I was like, yeah, that's what's up. Good, cool. All right, we're good. All right, good. And then so pretty much they were more supportive, if anything, when they found out me being there. Matter of fact, they even allowed me to bring my van inside because they see me tugging it all the way from the parking lot. They're like, no, bring your van inside. And then so
look at you.
God
Everybody
kept blessing me.
got that determination, that drive to just do that. Like I have goosebumps right now.
It was fun.
It takes a lot.
Yeah, it took a lot of sacrifice, but a certain sacrifice are a necessity to get what you need. I say, if you want something bad enough, you do whatever it takes to get it. So I always try to instill that into the boxers too. I'm like, they're like, well, I can't come. I don't have a ride. I'm like, I used to take the bus, three buses to get to the gym. And then they're like, oh, but I live 8 miles. And man, I was like, I used to run 8 miles to the gym for my first workout.
You gonna do
I remind them, like,
get it.
when I'm here, I'll come through with home meds and help out coach and whatnot, and I'll tell them, I was like, you know what he went through last winter to keep the gym open for you guys.
Come on now.
Like, I remind them, I use guilt and manipulation, and I'm unapologetic.
But that's how they're gonna
about
learn.
it.
They're gonna learn, and they're gonna learn to appreciate it, and
And-
implement it
Yeah, and I want to point
at a
out,
young
like,
age. You know, for them to see it, like you know, you guys are leading by example.
Firsthand,
Okay? You're showing them how great they can be and how they can do anything because you guys did it.
and what it does is it teaches the boys what they call those soft skills, right? The sort of intangibles of being successful in life. You know, there's a lot, and I've worked in the system for years and years. There's a lot of advocates out there that are like, this person's doing this to you, or these people are doing that to you. And it's not about, well, what are you doing for yourself? Are you getting up every day and taking responsibility for your life? And by them seeing Coach Manny get up every day and set up that whole gym outside in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of the winter, it teaches them determination, discipline, and consistency and hard work. Like you can't buy that in the classroom or in a march.
Woo!
Can't.
That's proud of you.
You're in double time.
Man, you
Yeah,
guys are
yeah.
dope.
Appreciate
Okay? For
Appreciate
real. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, we keeping the drive going and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like I said, just the beginning and stuff. And then and, you know, first, you know, saying like the Bumblebee ring and stuff like that. Like I said, Bumblebee a great mentor of mine and stuff. And then I just want to make sure that he gets a lot of credit.
So we got 15 minutes.
Okay.
So, you know, we didn't say the stories, you know. How
Yeah,
about you
touche.
take us around?
Yeah.
You know, we got Marlon, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
He
yeah.
might want to, you know, get a couple, you know, something's in. You know.
Let's do it.
Whatever, this is your last 15 minutes.
All right,
you
man.
got
Got
it.
some
You
miserable
got
for
it.
you then.
Yeah.
You know, tell us about the boxing gym, you know, all that stuff.
So let's move a couple of things over to the side real quick.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab my AK-47.
You're watching Monae Media. I'm at Nomad Boxing Gym. Okay, Marlon, how are you gonna? Brad, go ahead, you do your thing. Marlon's gonna get from behind the camera today. I'm excited. Wow. So this place is in Ballard. So how? So you have classes? You
Yeah.
have teams or?
Yeah, so we got classes. So everything. You got two entities right here. You got Nomad Boxing Club, and then you have KO Fitness.
Okay.
So Nomad Boxing Club, that's a nonprofit boxing club. So that deals with all the boxers and everything
Okay.
like that. My actual boxing team, and then so I use my personal training thing to do the classes to pay for the building.
Oh,
And so that's
okay,
another sacrifice,
okay,
you know, it has to be
okay,
made. It is
okay.
what it is. But
Wow.
that way I'm able to keep them nonprofits so I can, you know, do fundraisers to you know, take them on different trips. Like we're getting ready to go to Spokane on the 14th, and we got trips to Vegas that we're planning on going to, 3-day tournament. Arizona, the Gene Lewis tournament, that's a 3-day tournament. California, we're going there September 11th. So we got a lot of things we're gonna do, or we need some finances.
Okay,
yeah,
so how can people? Give us that.
Thank you so much for letting me plug that in too. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we need all of it.
I know that's right. So nomadboxingclub.com, you can go there. We should have a PayPal that's already linked up to it. You just look up Nomad Boxing Club for the PayPal. If you want to send a check out, you can send the check out to my actual address, but you have to make it out to Nomad Boxing Club. My address is on the 7017 210th Street, Southwest, Linwood, Washington. And 98036. And then so you can send a check out to help support the boys. 100% of the money goes to the boys. We don't take nothing away from nothing and stuff like that. And then so when we got that, if you want to come and take a class and help support the building, regardless, still by supporting my own business, KO Fitness, it still says Nomad Boxing Club on the building, but we have classes at 6 a.m. We got it at 10 a.m. At 12 noon, and we also have the 5:30 p.m. class. And then we're about to start up a 4 p.m. Kids class. So what we're going to do is get just the kids around the area. We're inside Ballard right now. The address is 1766 Northwest Market Street, Seattle, Washington, 98107. And then so if you want to find us, it's kind of hard. It's really easy if you think about it, because we're right inside the old Ballard Blossom building. Mm-hmm. And so you think Ballard Blossom Flowers, it just blossomed into a boxing gym. Dig it? So you can come and get your workout, learn what it is to be a boxer, and then you can train without getting hit. Those are the regular classes for the public. But if you want to learn the true art of boxing, you come into one of the classes we have for the actual boxers, which start around 5:30. They do the calisthenics, but at 6:30 I spend all my time with them. 6:30 to 8.
You are amazing. This is amazing.
Thank
What
you
you
so
do
much.
is amazing. So yes, I will have all that information that you just said on my social media. So
Thank you
I
so
got
much.
you.
Monae, you awesome. You awesome, Monae.
Yeah. Okay, so look. So now can we get to the real stuff?
Let's do it. Let me grab my gloves. I got my AK-47.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna get behind the camera, and it's all Marlon. Hey, I don't know what I'm doing. We're gonna do my
Let's
best.
go in the ring real quick.
Well, you want it in the ring or where you want?
Ooh, this is gonna be exciting.
Extra gloves too.
us about this ring.
Yeah, so this is the very ring that was in Bumblebee Boxing Gym. Bumblebee is a staple of Seattle. It is probably one of the oldest, most respected boxing gyms in Seattle, and it was in South Seattle. So this is, like Manny said, he was one of the last proteges and fighters that trained under Bumblebee before he retired as a coach. And this ring is so. This is historical, right? This is historical.
Yes.
If you follow boxing, you know that this is a small ring, so you don't have to go far for a fight.
I know that's right.
You're gonna bump into somebody. You're gonna step a few steps, and you're gonna bump into somebody.
This is the ring that you learn how to be slicking.
You're watching Monae Media, and I'm at Nomad Boxing Gym right now.
I put on my AK-47s. These are my special gloves. I had these ever since I started by Bumblebee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, the AK-47s right there.
All right.
I got
We're gonna
the
frame those and put those up.
Yeah, these are my babies. I don't never let go of these things. I punch the bag constantly with these. I mean, so I'm gonna show you a few combinations right here. He's gonna hold the mitts for us real quick, and then we're gonna keep switching up. So he's gonna hold in an orthodox position.
Can we call numbers or what?
Yeah, orthodox.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. So the 1 is the jab.
Okay.
The 2 is the straight right. You see how I pivot that right foot?
Okay.
And the 3 is going to be that left hook right here, pivoting all the way through. 1, 2, 3. We're going to try it again. And then for him, let's start off with something simple. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2 at that speed. Let me go faster now. Again. Again. Nice and fast. 1, 2, 1, 2. Jab, straight right. Jab, straight right. I want you to try that out.
Jab, straight right.
And remember, keep your hands up.
One hand right here.
I'm left.
Oh, you're lefty? Oh, okay. Well, you can get your rifle forward. Then get your rifle forward. This is his specialty. He loves it.
I'm a lefty too.
I see
So
the
your one's gonna be your
excitement.
right.
Oh,
So your 1's gonna be your right, your jab, and the 2's gonna be that straight left. So
Okay.
1, 2,
That's the
1,
setup.
2.
Okay.
Keep them hands up. Right to right, left to left.
All right, right.
Keep
Hands on the cheek.
So,
So we're giving you a right to right. Cross it up.
all right.
2, 1, 2. Good. Bend the knees a little bit. And hands on the cheek. Go ahead. 1, 2. We're gonna make it consistent now. Pop, 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 pop.
All right. So back straight sequence. All right.
There we go. Do it again. Now see how fast you can go. Give me speed, straight punch as fast as you can. Go.
All right. And make sure you exhale when you throw. So breathe when you throw the punch. And gas yourself.
All right.
There we go. Waist throw the punches.
Okay.
Waist throw the punch.
There you go.
That was good. Good.
Yeah.
Bring it back up. Bring it back home. Bring it back home. Always bring it back home.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, protect yourself at all times. Good, right back. Good. One more. And relaxing. Good. Now you notice whenever we're punching, we turn our hand over. Then when you talk about you want to hit with these 2 knuckles right here, hitting right on the top. When you punch like that, you hit it with these 2 knuckles in the back, and they break easy. That's why they call it boxer's fracture. Turn it over like this. Now you got structure. These knuckles line directly up with the radius bones, the thicker bone of the forearm. So, personal trainer and boxer. There you go. Oh, wait.
That's key.
Yeah, it's good to know. So we're gonna add the hook to the mix. When I'm throwing the right hook, so I'll do his SSL part so he can see. So when I'm throwing the right hook, I'm pivot all the way through.
All right.
Left hook, see I bring my hand right back to the face. Left hook, don't worry about that. Pivot all the way through. Right hook, left hook, pivot all the way through. Go ahead. These are 3 and 4. 3 is your front hand.
Right, look.
But don't straighten the hand out.
Okay.
Keep it hooked.
Keep hooked.
Yeah,
Oh,
keep
sorry.
it hooked. You're all right.
So I always say, imagine that some kids talking smack and the teacher's in front of you.
Oh.
Punch him around the teacher. That's how it was explained to me when I first
Okay.
did a box.
Yeah, what's that? All right.
Keep it hooked. There we go. There we go. Step it a little bit closer. That way you ain't gotta reach. Give it a pivot. And relax it. Let's go with the uppercuts. Coming underneath, palm facing myself now. Coming right here. Bam, pivot right here. Bam, pivot right here. Now this is what we're doing, the power uppercuts. Now when we go fast, I'm gonna, shit, I don't need to pivot as much. Go smack my hands. Go, give me the resistance. Fast, fast, fast. do it slow. Left uppercut, right uppercut.
So left uppercut.
Right uppercut. Pivot to right, bam, shift it. Left uppercut.
Button up your guard. Button up your guard.
And the thing about boxing, it takes years and to learn the trade. So don't even worry if the technique ain't fully down. Do the best you can. Scoop from the hip, bam. Palm facing yourself. Just do it right there. Again. One more. Now we're gonna give you some speed ones, some fast. It's kind of rolling. The thing is like you got a bicycle, right? And you're pedaling with your feet, but now you're pedaling with your hands backwards. Keeping your elbows in tight, because you don't bicycle like this with your legs up, do you? You got your legs in close. So now we're gonna do the same things like we got a pedal in our hands. And we'll
So
go
you guys are
backwards.
back
We'll
here
try that nice and
watching
fast.
this.
Same look.
Yeah, left,
This
right,
is
instead
so
of opposite,
amazing.
crossing.
Nomad Boxing Gym.
Go ahead, it's one.
Amazing. Yeah, they have done a lot for the community.
You got 4,
Boys are-
3, 2, and 1. It takes a minute, James. It takes a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you one of my favorite bags right here.
Okay.
So this is one of my favorite bags because of how it feels on the hand. I've seen a couple boxers they tried this little soft bag. I mean, that's cool and everything. I don't like soft bags. I like it to feel hard. Get some actual resistance, like punching somebody's actual body and ribs and everything. Watch, feel this bag right here. Feel how hard that is.
Feels like a rib.
Feel that one and then feel that one. See the difference?
Oh yeah.
See that difference?
Yeah.
That one got a lot more give. So this one right here, this allows me to be the AK-47 where you can still rock it. So if I was doing combinations, a true boxer, always hitting and moving. You want to box the bag as if the bag is boxing you back. Punch the bag like the bag's hitting. If the bag ain't hitting you back, you ain't punching the bag correctly. So I'm coming right here, move it around, moving, always moving. Having fun when you don't get in my thing, gonna do whatever. When you're punching the bag, I want you to come over and try it. I want to get your right foot forward. Find your range real quick. You don't want to set too far. Remember, turn that punch over. Put the jab power. Keep the left hand up. It's about time. All the back and forth comes at you. Back to the cheek.
Hey, this
A little bit further backwards.
is amazing.
One more. And give me the 1-2. Jab straight left. Go right from that cheek. Ready? Go. There we go. Again. There we go again. One more. And relax it. Not bad. It takes a minute because it will catch you, you know what I'm saying? If you're not used to it, get that wind going and stuff. So we got things like that. The double in bag.
I'm so honored and blessed.
So double in bag, you don't necessarily need gloves, but you can have them. So this one's all about timing. Timing and rhythm and stuff. Because when you hit it, this bag's gonna move a whole lot more, right? So learn that time. I can go single jab, push, bring it right back. I can do double jab. Notice how I'll rotate twice like that. Okay. I can go both hands, 1-2. Notice how I move my head afterwards, right? Because this thing gonna come back at me. I can go multiple times. Mix it up, have fun with it. So for right now, do the single jab. Time it. It's something. It's a lot tougher than it looks.
Good one.
There we
Yeah.
go. There we go. Double up. Bring the hands right back to the cheek. All right, get that right hand to the cheek. Right hand to the cheek.
Bring it back home. Bring it back home.
And give me the 1-2.
Yeah.
There we go.
Moving like this.
Hit where it's gonna be, not where it is.
Look at that smile though. You
He
know
said,
this is.
hold up. There we go, there we go. Get it. Hands up, hands up. It's something you can coordinate all now, you better get them hooks into it.
Yeah.
Ah, mess it up. It's all about timing. You're hitting what it's gonna be. Messing around with that stuff. So, deep breath on that. Let's do the slip one.
What?
The one you like, the slip bag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bench out the way real quick.
Yeah.
So this is my pulley system. This is how we lower the slip bag. Ghetto yet satisfying.
Hey, it works.
So this one right here, working on slipping. So it's all a timing scheme, right? Everything's timing. Timing it right here. Knowing how many times to slip it. It's all timing. Knowing exactly where it's gonna
Is
be.
your eyes closed?
Yeah.
Do it again.
Oh, she said, got him. I missed that time. So, either which way and everything, learning how to time it and everything. I'm glad it wasn't a hard weight. That would have sucked. Learning how many times you're able to slip it forward is going to be the same amount of time you can slip it backwards. You know what I mean? So it's the same distance there. And that's why we stand right here. However far it goes this way, it's the same far it's going to go this way. And pretty soon it's going to shorten up, which means you got to speed up your head movement. That's all it is. So let's work on just trying to get 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Try 2.
Alright.
Got your chair.
I'll be alright.
Hey,
I done.
decent. I was like, no.
I hate when people put my glasses
I
on.
can't help it. I'm sorry. Like,
I wear
I always got to
glasses.
check people's eyes. So I'm like, let me see what they were seeing. Come on.
I'll be like, don't do it. You
All right. Here we go. 3, 2. I'm gonna scoot you a little closer.
Okay.
And here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2 again.
Oh.
1, 2, 1, 2. Slip, 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 slip. Keep them hands up. Slip, slip. 'Cause you never know what might land. Find that time.
It's gonna shorten.
Yeah,
Come on.
there we go, doing good. Keep it going, keep it going. Almost there. Oh, he's
I lost it for a second.
He
Hey,
said,
there
"Where's
we
it
go.
going?"
Yeah.
I was early and I was like,
He
oh,
said, wait, man, hold on, look. I had to mess everybody's legs. There you go.
that
So,
was good. Thank you, man.
right on this stuff.
Ooh.
Let's see.
So look, we're at an hour and 2 minutes. I don't know, whatever you guys want to do, you're more than welcome to do
So
it.
good.
Oh, well,
Yeah, you got more?
Whatever
oh,
you guys
yeah,
want
let's
to
see.
add.
Speed bag, let's see.
Yeah, I need to see you on the speed bag. Okay,
Well,
this is this. What's your favorite? Like, okay, well maybe you don't have a favorite.
Well, my
You know-
favorite would just be that bag right there. That's
The
just my
bag?
favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
But like in the speed bag, I used to be able to do some fun things on there. I haven't done it in a long time though. Cause you gotta have room. But let's see. Let me scoot my office back.
Nice office.
My portable office. I can make it smaller or bigger. So this one right here, 3 count, just messing around. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You hear the sound of it. The harder you hit it, the faster it goes. You can mess around. You can mess around. When we used to mess around, this is a thing that Roberto Duran used to do. The head one. I don't know if I can still do it. Remember that one? Look, you coming right here? We used to get them, but Roberto Duran used to kill it and stuff like that. But and people were like, oh, brains. I was like, nah, just building a little head movement and stuff like that, a little fun stuff.
Nice.
They get them in. I'm like,
So, you know, this is it. So tell everybody who you are, where you at, you know.
Manny, the AK-47 Dunham, the head coach of the Nomad Boxing Club. You can come find us once again at the Nomad Boxing Club. Is over here on 1766 Northwest Market Street. Literally Seattle, Washington 98107. I'm glad I finally memorized that. And then so you can find us online at Nomad Boxing Club, or if you just want to do a regular class and just learn the art of boxing without having to get hit. Hey, we got KO Fitness for you, knockoutseattle.com. Go check us out. You can check us out on Instagram at Nomad Boxing Club or on Instagram at Knock 'em Out Fitness.
Okay.
There we go. I'm learning. You can tell that I don't put myself on blast too often because I'm like, well, where am I at again?
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, to me, it took me a while to figure out I even had an Instagram. I was like, word, I got one. Yeah, so we got that. Big shout out once again to Coach Bumblebee. I'm my head coach. It's like my father right there and stuff like that. My second father. All the boxing skills that I learned, they all came from him. So I appreciate him and stuff like that. Got to give him a big shout out and to all the Bumblebees out there. So we're gonna do two different calls real quick. Two different chants because you got the Bumblebee Boxing Club chant, then you got the Nomad chant. So we can do the Bumblebee first. So all you gotta do is repeat after me on this, all right?
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna do the Bumblebee first, then we'll do the Nomad.
Okay.
So when I say Bumblebee, you repeat after me. Bumblebee!
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee!
Bumblebee.
What do we do, Sting?
Oh.
My bad. I say, what do we do, Sting? Then I say, what do we do, Sting? Then I say, who are we? You said Bumblebee. Who are we? Bumblebee. Then I say, B. You ready? I forgot to tell that part. Come here, you come my part.
I need help.
You came to the thing.
You do it.
I don't
But
do
I'm
the
gonna
chants
do
that
it.
often. I'm always
Yeah,
behind
you
the scenes.
Oh,
But
you
it's all right.
Well, you gotta learn too.
I'm gonna say Bumblebee. What do we do? Sting. What do we do? Sting. Who are we? Bumblebee. Who are we? Bumblebee. What's your occupation? Sting. What's your occupation? Sting. What's your occupation? Sting. B. Ah!
You just repeat after you.
Repeat after me. You ready?
Okay.
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
What do we do?
Sting.
What do we do?
Sting.
Who are we?
Bumblebee.
Who are we?
Bumblebee.
What's our occupation?
Sting.
Sting. What's our occupation?
Sting.
What's our occupation?
Sting.
B.
Ah!
And then no pain.
No pain.
No gain.
No gain.
No man.
No man.
No mercy.
No mercy.
No fear.
No fear.
No man.
No man.
No guts.
No guts.
No glory.
No glory.
No man.
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 Let me hear that war cry. Ah! Got him.
You're watching Monae Media on YouTube, baby.
Give me some. What's it called? The Nomad tap on double
wait.
tap, crossbone. Bam. Now you nomaded up.
Yay!
I can't teach you the Bumblebee one. That's a secret
It's
one.
all good. It's all
do
good.
that.
All right, y'all. Until next time, we out.